What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sporgo. As many of you know, Rugal is my favorite character in the game. And I've shown that that new option card that we get from this new banner is actually added about 10% increase to his damage. Well, I wanted to do a little video, guys, transcending that card because we want to see what the difference is between having a transcended card, just one card, versus not having transcended card. Now, this is going to depend on the actual stats that I get. The three stats that you always want to go for, at least with characters that don't have any kind of dot element, right? If they're just 100% physical, like Rugal, all you want is critical rate, critical damage, or increase to attack as far as damage. Increased penetration would be good, but it's just not going to be as good as the other three that I just mentioned. So one of those three is what I'm always going to be striving for. And in all honesty, when it comes to a character like Rugal, critical rate and critical damage really will be the best way to go, especially after the testing that I've recently done. And you guys can take a look at the score that I was able to get with this guy today. And 124 billion, guys, in one key. The video I just showed, we did 110 billion. Well, how did I gain so much more? Well, I did two different things for this character. The first thing that I did was I switched out his imprint stone. This third stone that I have on this character is actually from the Volume 3 banner. And what this thing does is it actually increases active skill 3 damage by 20%. Rugal spams his third skill over and over from his concentrate from his EX core. So you're just giving it 20% extra damage. I'm actually doing more damage with this thing than I did with the previous Volume 5 stone. And on top of that, I went ahead and transcended one card, which leads me into this video. I transcended this Cosmic card because this is really an amazing card for him. If I had that Lady Choi card, that's the card I would have went with instead, but I don't have it, and it's going to be probably a long time before we get it back. Then I already had this card transcended. I just went ahead and transcended a couple more times. Tried to get this extra bonus for attack fighter by critical damage, and this 7.5%, guys, made a big difference. It added about 5% to my damage. So between the new Imprint Stone and this card being transcended, the two things that I did, I added, about 14 billion in my score, which is pretty cool. Now, we really don't need it, but I'm always trying to make Rugal, because he's my favorite character, as strong as possible. And I know some of you out there are going to be in the same kind of situation. So what we're going to do today is we're going to transcend this card because, guys, this and the Lady Choi card are the #1 cards, especially for Rugal, probably even Jin more than likely, and definitely for the new characters, Lady Chen and Athena. I'm pretty much betting they're going to be the best. This card is definitely going to be the best because it bumps up critical damage for EX fighters. It's just an amazing card. It added 10% to my damage just equipping it, right? Versus other OP cards that we were using that add critical rate and critical damage. So the way that you transcend cards, guys, is once you click on the screen, you would click on transcend. You would click on select materials. I'm just going to pretend like none of you have ever transcended cards before. And when it comes to 6-star cards, you can use these right here. Now, you can actually acquire these cards right here from your Power Up dungeon. If you go to the dungeon here and you go to Power Up and you go to Street Operation, at tier 11, you can actually queue up these cards, right? These right here. These babies are the ones that are going to transcend your natural 6-star cards. If you're only on tier 10, right, at tier 10, they don't have those cards available in here. So you have to be able to farm at tier 11. And by the way, guys, it's pretty much abysmal rates as far as trying to get those. I used about 7,000 AP earlier today at tier 15, and I only got 2 of those cards. So especially, whenever you're trying to farm for AP or whenever you're trying to use your AP efficiently, it's always a good idea to focus on where you're trying to get cards from, like whether it be the Rush Dungeon or maybe some kind of event that we got going on before you farm in your card banners. But I mean, if you do farm in a card banner, you do have a chance of getting one of the 3 PGs for the characters in the banner, or one of these, you could even get this option card, you get the new set in the Power Up dungeon if you're really, really lucky, which would be awesome. But let's go ahead and transcend this thing. Now, again, guys, you're looking for increase the certain type of fighter that it is. In Rugal's case, he's an attack type fighter. Burn, poison, bleed is useless on him because, as I said earlier, he doesn't have dodge, so you're not buffing up anything on this character. I want attack. I want critical rate, critical damage. Really, critical damage, guys, is kind of what I'm looking for, but critical rate I'll definitely settle for. Penetration is good, but with a character like Rugal, if you're trying to really increase that damage, I feel like the critical damage and critical rate, or even increase attack, would be better. Now, this can be a really painful process, And with 5-star cards, guys, you have to use 2 regular 5-star cards in order to transcend them. And this requires a ridiculous amount of resources. So it isn't so bad in the very beginning when you transcend a card, because even if you don't get the stat, you're gonna re-roll it anyway. So increase attack type fighter shock damage, which is pretty much useless. We're gonna go ahead and take it and just level up everything else here, okay? And if you guys will notice, look at the materials that I'm going to be using. 25 of those babies, right? I mean, and by the way, after I farmed all that I did in the Power Up Dungeon yesterday, I thought this would be a good video to go ahead and jump into. And then we level up, the enhancement, okay? Now we're ready to transcend this baby again. So let's hope for the best, right? And I got 42 of these things, so I'm really hoping I can get the transcended stat that I want. Okay, no, balance type fire, that's trash, right? We don't want that. We don't want that at all. And this is the pain and agony of transcending cards. A big tip, guys, whenever you are transcending cards, is always transcend cards that you know are going to be relevant for a very, very long time. Because the thing is, man, there's going to be cards in the future that, will have some power creep. They will be better for other characters. And whatever your character is, whatever your favorite character is, those are the only characters I would ever recommend transcending cards for, because this is a very, very expensive process. It takes a lot of resources to do this. So always be wary of that. Always be aware that you really should only be trying to bump up your fighter, the fighter that you're specifically is your favorite, right? If not your favorite and you're just meta chasing, that's a different story. But I mean, guys, the amount of resources this takes, seriously, you should really only focus on your most beloved characters, at least in my humble opinion. The only cards I've ever transcended for me is either for Leona and Rugal, who are my 2 favorites. They're the only ones I've ever done it for, and in all honesty, everything else in the game, I've just never needed to do it. I've never needed to do it, guys. Nothing in the game has made me, forced me to transcend cards. Now, I know for some of you newer players, you're going to be very tempted to go ahead and start doing this because you're trying to get that damage and all that. But if you just wait a little bit of time, get some stronger characters in your roster, it might be a different story, right? But there again, you're trying to level up, I would think your most beloved character or your favorite character that you do play in the game. Because again, guys, it's going to be way more gratifying when you're transcending cards for those characters because you're making your favorites the strongest possible. I cannot stress that enough, guys, that you really want to focus on your favorite characters. Games are so much more fun. I've talked about this many times in many videos. They're so much more fun when you focus on your favorite characters. I am very, very fortunate and lucky that, my favorite character is a very, very beloved character in the KOF franchise. So Netmarble, they really take care of him. And look at what just happened. Increase attack fighter critical damage. Now, here's something that's really awesome. On a 5-star card, this only maxes out at 7.5%. But as you guys will see with a 6-star card, this is going to go up even more, which is nice, my friends. There you see go up to 9%, right? Which is nice. And when you transcend it again, once you get the stat you want and you transcend it again, you can keep the original stat that you previously had, which is awesome. I'm really glad that they did that, right? Instead of having this set up to where you would do this because you're trying to get extra leveled up, trying to get a little bit more CP, a little bit more combat power, right? We'd hit transcend. And now it's going to give us the option to keep what we just had or switch to a different option. And we do not want to do this, right? We want to make sure we're getting that increased attack fighter critical damage, right? So we'll click on that. And then once I level this card up, you're going to notice it's going to go up even more. So now we're at 10.6%. So with the 6-star card, I'm actually gaining, almost 3% more critical damage. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that makes a big difference in your CP requirement and your damage, guys. It makes a big difference. And what we're going to do is just to test the differences, we're going to go ahead and put my Rugal, we're going to do a run in Guild Raid Live and see what kind of damage increase we did get. Now, I showed you guys that I was able to get 124 billion, right? Well, now we have 10% more critical damage. And when I added this, 7.5% here on this card, it added about 5% to my damage. So I'm hoping that we can do even better. I cannot believe, actually, guys, I'm pretty damn happy with that because usually when you transcend cards, it takes forever to get the stat you want. It honestly could be a real nightmare. So this might take me a couple tries because I want to be able to get my 3PG off immediately. I do not want to wait, right? If I do my skills and I do a few attacks, then I'm going to go ahead and restart this fight. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this, man. I'm going to be kind of focusing, guys, trying to get the run. Okay, so right there, guys, that isn't what we want. We're looking for a good run, and for that good run, we need that 3BG to hit off immediately, because if it doesn't hit off, right, if we don't get it off, then what's going to happen is the Guild Raid Rugal is going to do his explosion and throw a rotation all off, which is going to screw up our run. We'll try it again. Yep, see there again, guys. All right, I know some of you are thinking, "Well, wait a minute now. What are you doing?" And this is kind of the process by which that players try to get those really, really good runs. Okay, we'll try it again. And yeah, we're not having no luck at all. We're not getting that proc. I want that proc. The moment I hit my second into my third skill, I want that proc, right? And it's being a bit of a nightmare right now. It's being a little bit of a pain, which is really nothing new for the game. There, it didn't even proc at all. And this is kind of the thing when you're doing this. I might edit some of this out and just go switch to the right run here. All right, so we're going to try that again. And by the way, guys, I've said this about 100 times already. It just doesn't seem like he's wanting to proc this set, which is pretty annoying. Please proc. There we go. That's what we want. As soon as we hit our skill, our second and third skill, we want him to proc. That way our rotation's all in sync. Okay? Now, I'm going to try to talk as I play, guys, but really, I really do tend to kind of need to focus a little bit on what I'm doing so I don't make a silly mistake in the run. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Beautiful, beautiful, right? And by the way, on Rugal's third skill, you can just hold the button down. Something that I didn't do for a long, long time, which is quite annoying. And I can tell you guys that he's already doing more damage than what he did previously when that card wasn't transcended. And my nose is itching like crazy, and I want to scratch it. Oh my God. That ever happened to you guys where your nose just starts itching and you're just like, oh, come on, man. This is terrible, terrible timing, right? Okay, here we go. Perfect. And whenever I have like 3 seconds left on Bison's tag-in, if I'm going into this 3PG at that time, you're having a very, very good run. Oh yeah, man, the damage is looking pretty damn sweet, I have to say. I know some of you might be getting tired of me running Rugal, but I don't have Lady Chen leveled up. I don't have Athena yet, so I'm just kind of holding off until the reset, which is just in a couple days. And then I'll talk about those characters, because I do think those characters are freaking awesome. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Still had that 3 seconds left on that tag in, which is great. I mean, you got to be fast to do that. I definitely can't do this on my phone, guys. There's no way. I can do okay on the phone, but I do so much better on the emulator, and it's just because I'm used to it. Well, not emulator, on the PC client. I'm just used to it. I'm just used to playing with a controller on this game. Okay, and perfect, perfect. Here we go. Yeah, let's go. Perfect. Still had that 3 seconds left on Bison, which is exactly what we want. I mean, I'm shooting for a good run, guys. I'm shooting for a good run, trying to do it live. I mean, we've almost hit 50 billion already, guys, and we're not even halfway through, right? So we're doing pretty damn awesome. We're doing pretty damn sweet. I really wish I had that Lady Choi card. Oh yeah, look at that damage, guys. Look at that damage. Nice. Oh, I had 2 seconds left on Bison's tag, and that wasn't good. Okay, a little slow on the draw that time. That wasn't exactly what we wanted, but it's still all right. It's still all right. Oh yeah, it's always fun to talk and play at the same time, trying to get that sweet run. Because originally I was just going to show you guys a run of Rugal hitting 110 billion. But after I transcended that card and got, you know, way more, I just went ahead and decided to make a video like this, you know, where I just do a run after transcending that, you know, option card that we're getting from the new banner. And it's making a big, big difference having that one transcended stat. I mean, I can tell, guys, I'm doing better right now than what I did in my 124 billion run. We are doing more damage. I'm pretty sure of it. As long as I keep the groove going, keep this run going. All right, as long as I don't make a silly mistake. Okay, and let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Bison still had that 3 seconds on tag him. I know that doesn't seem like much, but throughout an entire run, whenever you're tagging, like for me anyways, if my tagging's at that 3 second mark every single time, over a 2 minute duration, that makes a big, big difference in the amount of damage that you can actually do. You know, the faster you are at switching your characters and timing them, the more damage you're actually going to be able to do. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do here. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. I kind of messed up there, didn't hit my third skill. That kind of sucked. All right, and... yeah, I am definitely doing more damage, right? I mean, I'm at 104 billion right now, and we still got a bit of time to rack up a little bit more damage here. All right, and... nice, nice, nice. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Come on. Perfect, perfect. We got enough time for one more, not quite, but maybe almost one more rotation here. Yeah, I mean, we got enough time for one more rotation, guys. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So we got screwed there at the very end because we didn't apply both dots at the same time, so we didn't break the meter fast enough. Otherwise, I would have done more damage. So I actually did more damage when I didn't transcend that card. But I promise you guys, I mean, I can't do another run because I've already done my 2 keys. But I know we were well on pace to do more damage because in the run where I did 124 billion, whenever Rugal, you know, did his iframe and he hunched over there at that moment at the very end of the fight, I only had like 90-some billion in that 124 billion run, right? But in that run, every time I applied my dots, I applied both of them, whereas one of them missed for whatever reason just now, and we didn't break the meter as fast. We weren't able to do as much damage. I probably would have been able to get around 130 billion, but yeah, I mean, so it kind of sucks because I really didn't get to show you guys the difference because I didn't have as good a run as what I did with that 124 billion. I mean, a good run makes all the difference in the damage that you're doing. So I'm a little salty that it didn't work out the way that I hoped it would, but I will try another run later to where I'll try to get a nice perfect run and maybe post it or maybe put it up in the next video. But guys, let me know how you're all doing in the game. Let me know if you've transcended any cards and what cards you're actually focusing on. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. T2+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.